All right, today we're diving into one of the most powerful and honestly most beautiful texts in all of Mahayana Buddhism, the Heart Sutra. Now, what's so amazing about it is that it's incredibly short. You can recite the whole thing in just a couple of minutes, but packed into those few lines is an entire universe of wisdom about the true nature of reality.
So, to get started, you have to picture the scene. We're at a place called Vulture Peak Mountain. The Buddha is there, along with this huge gathering of his followers, and he sinks into this incredibly deep state of meditation. You can just imagine the atmosphere. It's totally still, but also charged with this amazing energy. Something profound is clearly about to happen. And right in the middle of that powerful silence, one of the Buddha's most senior disciples, Shariputra, turns to this great enlightened being, Avalokiteśvara, and he asks a really practical question. He basically says, look, for any good person out there who really wants to practice this perfect wisdom, how do they even start? How should they learn? It's not some abstract philosophical question. It's a how-to. And that simple, direct question is what kicks off the entire teaching. So to really get the answer, we're going to walk through the 5 main parts of the sutra. We'll start with that big question. Then we'll dive deep into the core idea of emptiness. From there, we'll look at what I call the world of no. Then see how all of this leads to becoming fearless. And we'll wrap up with the powerful mantra that seals the whole deal.
Okay, so first up, that question. What's so cool about this is that this incredibly deep philosophical text doesn't start with some grand declaration. It starts with simple, genuine curiosity. It's about a desire to learn, to find a path. It reminds us that this wisdom isn't just for enlightened masters on a mountaintop, it's for anyone who truly wants to understand.
Now, Avalokiteśvara's answer comes back, and it's immediate, and it's a total game changer. He doesn't go on a long, complicated lecture. Instead, he tells Shariputra to do something really simple. Look inward. Look at the actual components of your own experience, because the key to everything, it's right there.
He starts with something called the 5 skandhas. You can think of these as the 5 building blocks that make up what we call our self. There's form, which is our physical body, sensation, our feelings, perception, our thoughts and labels, formation, our habits and impulses, and consciousness, the awareness underneath it all. Basically, it's the whole package of me. And Avalokiteśvara's first big revelation is this: every single one of these is empty.
And that insight leads us right to the most famous and maybe the most mind-bending line in the whole sutra. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a complete paradox, a riddle, right? What in the world could that possibly mean? Well, let's unpack it. So the key here is that emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. It's not a void. It means empty of a separate, permanent, independent existence. Think about a wave in the ocean. The wave has a form, right? But you can't separate the wave from the ocean. It is the ocean. The sutra is saying the same thing about us. Our form isn't separate from the vast, interconnected reality of the universe, and that reality isn't separate from our form. They are literally 2 sides of the very same coin.
So once you start to grasp that core idea, the sutra takes you on this absolutely wild ride. It just systematically starts dismantling everything we normally think of as solid and real. It's a path of negation, of saying no to our fixed ideas.
You get this whole cascade of no's. No form, no sensation, no eye, no ear, even no wisdom, and no attainment. It sounds intense, maybe even a little scary, but it's not about nihilism. The point isn't to destroy the world. It's to destroy our rigid ideas about the world. All these things, eye, sound, suffering, are just labels we stick on a reality that's constantly flowing. By saying no to them, the sutra is trying to free our minds from the little boxes we built, so we can finally see reality as it truly is.
And here's where it gets really practical. This isn't just an intellectual exercise. It has a massive psychological payoff. Just think about the things we're afraid of: losing what we have, getting hurt, death. All of those fears are tied to this idea of a solid, separate me that needs protecting. So when you start to see through that illusion, when you realize you're not a separate thing but part of a whole, the very foundation of fear just crumbles away.
The sutra actually lays out this journey for us. Step 1, you rely on this perfect wisdom. When you do that, your mind becomes unhindered. It's not getting snagged on things anymore. And because there's nothing solid to cling to and nothing solid to lose, fear just completely dissolves. This clears away all the confusion and leads you straight to what's called final nirvana.
And just to hammer home how crucial this teaching is, the sutra says this isn't just one path among many, it is the path. Every single enlightened being, past, present, and future, they all reach their ultimate perfect awakening by relying on this very wisdom of emptiness. It's the master key.
So after laying out this entire sweeping philosophy, the sutra does something incredible. It condenses the whole thing down into a sound, a mantra. It's like the absolute essence of the teaching, but expressed in a way that goes beyond words and concepts, something you can feel.
The sutra describes this mantra with the most powerful language you can imagine. It's the great bright mantra, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra. It says it can wipe out all suffering, and why? Because it's true. It's not a magic spell. Its power comes from the fact that it's a vocalization of reality itself.
And this is the mantra itself. It's often translated as an urgent call to action. Gone, gone, gone beyond, completely gone beyond, awakened, so be it. It's like the entire journey of awakening captured in a single breath, moving from our ordinary, confused reality across the river of suffering all the way to the other shore of enlightenment.
Then, as soon as Avalokiteśvara finishes speaking, the Buddha, who's been in this deep meditation the whole time, emerges, and he gives his final seal of approval. He just says, "So it is, so it is," or "Excellent, it is just as you have said." With that, the teaching is confirmed by the ultimate authority, and the whole assembly rejoices.
So you see, the Heart Sutra isn't asking us to believe in nothing. Far from it. It's inviting us to see the world and ourselves not as a collection of separate, fixed objects, but as a beautiful, dynamic, interconnected dance. And this leaves us with one final, big question to think about. If we are not defined by a solid, unchanging self, what does that profound freedom truly allow us to become?